Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of like a first impressions review, more like a first impressions of the new Colourpop no filter foundations and concealers. So I currently have two of the foundation shades and then two of the concealer shades. I wasn't exactly sure, but the good thing is that Colourpop's social media has been providing people with comparisons, kind of like they have charts, and then they say if you're this shade in this brand concealer, then you'd be this in our concealer, if that makes sense. And I think those are so helpful for people. I'm sure that you guys have seen videos on this so many times, but you guys request a lot of times that I do foundation reviews and concealers because of my skin tone. So that is why I'm doing this review today. This is for the No Filter Natural Matte Foundation. I'm looking at my phone right now. And it's supposed to be a buildable, full coverage, natural matte foundation that delivers flawless looking skin from day to night. It's supposed to help with oils. It's supposed to be able to be sheared out. It was developed with innovative soft blurring pigments to deliver true color while looking and feeling natural. I've watched a couple of reviews on this foundation and this concealer, and I don't know, I feel like it's really mixed reviews. One thing I will say is that it did come with a pump, but there's no cap for the pump, so it's kind of weird. They do lock into place so they don't pump out when it's like in your makeup bag or anything, but I still would like the extra protection of a cap. I'm going to do the basic brush on one side, sponge on the other side, and for me, whenever I do foundation reviews or test out a foundation and concealer, I like to do it the way that I would normally do it. So that means primer and setting it all the way. Like, I'm not just gonna leave the foundation on my skin, just the foundation, and then expect like a miracle, because obviously I wouldn't wear it like that day to day. For the brush portion of it, I have the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. I just bought this and it's really cool looking. It's just like a kabuki, but it's cut so it's like pointed at the top. And then I'm just going to be using my Eco Tool sponge for the sponge side. In the foundations, I have medium dark 115 and medium 110. So this one is going to be medium 110 right here. That's medium 110. That looks pretty good, honestly. Okay, this is medium dark 115. Honestly, the medium 110 looks a lot more yellow than the medium dark 115. I'm gonna just blend it out a little bit. I feel like I could do medium dark 115 right now. The medium 110 looks really yellow on my skin. I don't know if you guys can tell. So we're just gonna go with the medium dark shade. Now, I could be completely wrong. I'm really bad with matching my skin to foundations and stuff like that. So I hope this is okay. I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite primers. This is the Origin Original Skin Pore Perfecting Cooler. It comes out like a mousse. I'll just show you guys. You've seen it a ton of times. I've used it on my channel a lot. So I'm just gonna take that and then spread it onto my cheeks, and then on the side, like my temples, because I get really oily on my temples. And then whatever's left, I'll use on the rest of my face. So the right side of my face is going to be the part that I use the brush with, and then the left side is the sponge. So we'll start off with the right side of my face. I'm actually going to pump a little bit of the foundation out on my hand just to avoid putting too much on my face. Oh, it's kind of hard to pump. And then taking my brush and dipping it in there, and then we're going to start applying it. Looks a little dark. Not too bad though. So it looks like it's blending pretty well. It doesn't look extremely full coverage right off the bat, but that's okay. I don't mind building it. I actually prefer to build it. All right, so that looks pretty good. It makes my skin look pretty even. I have a little patchiness right around this area right now. I think I just need more foundation. It always looks thicker with a brush on my skin, so I expected that, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm going to add a little bit more. It's another pump. See if this is really buildable. Yeah, you can clearly see where I have that extra layer of foundation. It's like running down my hand, so it's really a thin consistency. So that is the side with the brush, and I think it looks pretty good. My skin tone looks pretty even. Like I said, I have like a weird patch right here. I don't know. I used a mask before this that I'm testing out. It might be the mask. So next we're gonna do the side with the sponge. So I'm gonna take some, put it on my skin actually, because now I know kind of how much my skin needs. I typically enjoy using a sponge to apply my foundation, so already I feel like I like this better. It looks way more natural. It's not sitting on the skin as harshly. Like, I can still see the foundation, but it doesn't look as harsh. And it could be because the foundation is still wet from the application. Looking at the skin, I don't know if you guys can see, the shade is kind of off. It looks a little grayish. But yeah, it looks way more natural. I can still see like my sunspots and stuff right in this corner, but that is like the case with every foundation. But most of my freckles are covered. I do like it better with a sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pat my sponge on this side just so it doesn't look super crazy. All right, moving on to the concealers. I have two concealers right here. I have medium dark 32 and medium 28. Now medium 28 already looks really light for me right now. I don't necessarily like to super highlight with my concealers. This is medium 28. This one, medium dark 32, looks more my jam, so we're gonna go in with that. So with my concealers, I always apply it with my fingers. Like I'll put it on there and then pat it out with my fingers and then blend it with a sponge. So I'm gonna do that today. So I'm gonna pat it out with my fingers just to warm it up. Yeah, this looks like a really good shade because it's close to my skin tone but a little brighter. So it'll look like a natural highlight. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and then blend that concealer out. I like the way this concealer is sitting. It looks hydrating, but it also covers a good amount. So it's not shearing out into nothing. It looks like the concealer is sitting nicely on top of the foundation, but I would hope so because it is the matching concealer to the foundation. Pretty good. I don't see any redness on my skin. Looks pretty even. So right now, I don't know how I feel about this. The concealer was good, but I feel like I still do see a lot of darkness right up here. So I think I'm gonna apply a little bit more. And I'm gonna do the same shade because I don't wanna try to use that lighter shade and then have it look really crazy white. I feel like maybe I tried to blend it a little too much with a sponge and it got rid of a lot of the coverage. I feel like the foundation is starting to oxidize a little bit, like my skin is looking a little more orange. I actually have the Colourpop No Filter setting powder in the banana shade, so I'm gonna use this to set my face. This is like a darker yellow, by the way. If you guys have used like Ben Nye banana powder, that one is a little lighter than this one. So I'm gonna use this to set under my eyes. Really help it brighten the skin. I was going to use this all over my face, but I think it's making the highlighted spots really bright, which I like. I like the contrast, so I'm going to go in with just a skin tone powder and set the rest of my face. Okay, to set the face, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild pressed powder, and this is like pretty much gone, but I love this so much. This is in the shade Tan Beige. Gonna kind of blend that banana powder with the rest of my face just a little bit. So everything is set. It's looking way better. I think once it dried and I set it down with the powder, it just looks a lot more airbrushed, I guess, and a lot cleaner. So I think it is making my skin look a little gray, I'm not gonna lie. So that shade wasn't the best. Maybe I should have gone with the what was it, medium 110, and that one was a little more yellow, but whatever, we'll make this one work. So I'm gonna put the rest of my face on, just gonna do a very simple look since I am just testing out the foundation, and I will be right back. If you guys want to see a look with this, I actually use the Tarte's Pro To Go palette. It's like the mini one, and it's this one right here, and it's really good. So that's really exciting. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and set my face. I decided to wait to do that on camera. I'm going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and set my face because this is the one that I really like to use. Pull my hair back. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to spray a little bit more like I normally do. And today's going to be a very long day. It's actually the 4th of July, so I'm going to be spending the day with my family. So I know it's going to be a very late night. So I'm going to spray one more time. And let that dry. All right, so far on camera, I'm looking at my monitor right now, and it looks super flawless on camera, and I really like the finish. The shade of the foundation doesn't look super crazy like it did earlier now that I have bronzer and all of that stuff on. It has a nice, healthy look to it, and in my mirror, let's look at it in the mirror, it looks really good. Once my whole face is done, it doesn't look too gray. It doesn't look super patchy like this area right here. You can't really tell anymore. It is sitting a little funny on my upper lip, but I am kind of sweating because it is really hot under these lights. I'm so sorry. But earlier, before I sprayed my face, I felt like I was starting to see a little bit of lines happening on my forehead. That doesn't really seem to happen too often. So I was a little worried how that was gonna look, but once it's set, it looks like it's kind of melted into the skin better. And I can't really tell if I have any super noticeable fine lines on my forehead, but I will let you guys know how that ends up looking tonight. So I wanted to give you guys a close-up look of my skin with the foundation on once it's set. It looks really flawless in my opinion. I'm kind of sweaty, I'm sorry. Like I said, I am a sweaty little monster sometimes. Yeah, the skin looks really smooth and flawless, if you can see. And I'm not having any super bad issues with the fine lines from earlier. I think it looks a lot better once it's set. I feel like my forehead texture is accentuated right now because I did put some highlight on it, but you can tell that the fine lines right here that I was having issues with earlier aren't really showing. I wish I had shown you guys that part, but I didn't think to film it. But yeah, so that is the skin up close. All right, everybody, I am back. It is the end of the day. It's currently 12:40 a.m. So I put this makeup on around 1:30 this afternoon, so it's almost been 12 hours, which is crazy. I spent a lot of the day inside and a little bit of it outside, grilling, doing a seafood boil with my family, and just hanging out with some friends as well. Overall, let's look at this foundation and concealer. I can tell that the foundation has broken up a little bit right here by my nose. I can't really see it too much underneath my nose anymore. I can kind of see some patching right over here. Now, around 5 o'clock this evening, my skin was looking very oily, so I did use a blotting sheet. I didn't add any makeup on there. It just felt really oily and it looked really shiny, so I used a blotting sheet completely. And then I was fine for the rest of the day. I don't think that I look overly shiny right now, but the foundation definitely has broken up like in the center of my face. But I mean, it's been almost 12 hours. And also the concealer is like in my fine lines, and you can really see that it's like broken up underneath those, so that didn't really hold up very well. I mean, I don't think that it started doing this until closer to the end of the night, so I would say it lasted until like maybe 7 or 8 this this evening. So overall, I think this is actually a pretty good foundation. It's lasted pretty much all day, and 12 hours of wear, that is a lot to ask for a foundation. I think it wore really nicely throughout the day. I got some compliments on my skin. My skin was looking really nice and glowy and fresh, and I mean, if it gets me through an average day, then I'm happy with it. The color was a little weird on my skin. I think I will play around with the 2 shades that I have, try to mix them or figure something out to make them work. If you don't have oily skin, try this out. If you do have oily skin, try it out, but make sure you set it and see if it works out for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Please make sure to hit the notification bell if you guys are interested in seeing when I upload and all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!